Don't drop the soap. It's the punchline to every bad prison joke ever told. And as it turns out, it's actually really good advice, at least if you're serving time at one of the older parts of San Quentin. You see, I recently did a video regarding the sanitation conditions at San Quentin. I talked about the rats, the cockroaches, the river of human filth that's behind the cells. I neglected to mention the shower situation. This is surprising because the showers stood out as one of the most appalling things, unsanitary things, that I saw in the entirety of my 17 years incarcerated. Older prisons have a similar design. Things built since 1970 have been modernized. Things built before 1970 are all a little similar. And you don't get much more old than San Quentin. Construction was started in 1850, and many parts of the prison built in 1910 still house inmates and have not been cleaned in that entire time. San Quentin is built in these parts as a 5-tier design. What this means is that there is a long hallway with 5 floors called tiers, one on top of another. Each tier has 50 cells for a total of 100 inmates. The cells are divided into 2 sections, the front bar, the first 25 cells, and the back bar, the second 25 cells. It's called this because there's a literal bar that connects each of the cells so the cops are able to physically lock 25 cells at once. At the end of the hallway, there's a set of stairs going up to the next tier. Past that, there is a door which leads into a atrium-style area. This is the area where inmates are allowed to shower on shower days, generally Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 3 days a week. All of the inmates file into this room. It's about 40 feet by 20 feet with a very high ceiling. On the wall furthest from the cells, there's about 10 shower heads. And about halfway from there to the cell area, there is a partition that stands about 2 feet tall. The purpose of this partition is to stop the excess water from the showers from running out into the cell area. There are also 3 large drains which are used to drain the water from the showers. Showers are conducted by tier and by bar. What this means is that they take a tier and let all of the inmates shower, the first bar, 50 inmates or 25 cells. And then once they've completed, they do the second bar, another 50 inmates or 25 cells. And so on until they've done the whole building, all 500 inmates or 250 cells. It's very important what bar showers first. Everybody is very worried about who's going to be the first bar, and they rotate it to be fair. The reason this is important is because whenever you have 500 inmates showering over the course of a couple of hours with 10 shower heads and only 3 drains, the water backs up. The amount of water coming out of the shower heads exceeds the amount that can go down the drains rapidly. Especially whenever you factor all of the filth, hair, soap, whatever that the inmates leave in the shower that clog the drains. As a result, if you're on the first bar that showers, whenever you get in, it's relatively clean. But by the time you get out, there is a small pool of water around each of the drains, which is clogged with hair and soap scum and excess skin and things like that. The second bar that showers will go and begin showering in that puddle. By the time they're done, it will be a pool. By the time the third or fourth bar gets done, the water is 2 feet tall. It has exceeded the height of the partition and is sloshing out onto the tier. If, God forbid, you are in the last bar that showers, the water is white with filth and soap scum. You can't see the floor, and you have to kind of wade towards the showers in order to get there. It's appalling, truly disgusting. Bear in mind, this is an active yard. Mandatory program, mandatory showers. I've said this, you must go to the showers. Just because you must go to the showers doesn't mean you have to actually physically get into the water. A large percentage of inmates, I'd say less than half, probably 15 or even 20 out of each bar, elect to go to the showers, wearing their boots and their boxers, taking a towel and soap, but not actually shower. Rather, they stand at the side of the shower area and watch all of the other inmates shower in case a riot kicks off or something like that. It's almost comical to see 15 people out of 45 or 50 that are showering all standing off to the side just watching. But it's serious business. These inmates elect to bird bath rather than shower. This means that they fill up their sink with water and take a cup and pour it over themselves a bunch of times, and then soap and then repeat to rinse. This makes a mess. It is tedious and frankly a pain, but it's generally what I elected to do rather than get into the ankle-deep or shin-deep filth from 450 other inmates. I know a lot of guys got fungal infections, athlete's foot, things like that from this water, and I didn't want to be on that list. Which brings us to don't drop the soap. If you happen to find yourself in the showers of San Quentin, don't drop the soap. And if you do not go bobbing for it. Just leave it lie. Write it off. The last thing you want is to be sticking your hand elbow deep in water that is white with the soap scum and dead skin and God knows what of 450 other men. Of course, the phrase has different connotations, both in prison and outside of it. It's, as I said, the punchline to a bad joke about sexual assault in prison. As if the idea is funnier because it's happening to inmates. Rape is never funny. Sexual assault is never funny. It's a monstrous action regardless of who the victim is. Don't make jokes about sexual assault in prison or out in the real world. Don't normalize that behavior. And if you happen to hear a joke, don't laugh. Correct the person. It's not funny. Ever.